I'm Gill, and this is your UT10 Sports Report. UT has announced that they have hired someone to lead the future of Rocket Athletics. But first, Savage Arena hosted a basketball doubleheader last week, and this first game of the weekend went right down the wire. As the regular season's nearing a close, every game begins to matter just a little bit more. Rockets got out to a quick start, going on a 7-point run early in the first quarter to give them an 8-4 lead. But Ball State's freshman Allie Becky was able to nail 2 3-pointers, tying the game up at 13. There was hardly any separation from the two teams for the rest of the quarter, but a buzzer beater 3 to end the quarter from sophomore Sammy McConowitz gave the Rockets a 22-19 lead to end the first. Junior guard Quenisha Lockett started the second quarter off for the Rockets with a 3-point play, but the Cardinals got on a roll, scoring 8 of the next 10 points. The two teams would go back and forth for a little bit before Toledo was able to pull out and get a 6-point lead going into half, thanks in part to this Goss steal and score. UT started the second half hot, but they began to simmer down a little bit, which allowed BSU to catch up, making it a one-possession game late. Before Lockett was able to hit one from downtown, extending the Rockets' lead 45-39. Ball State finishing the third with a 9-3 run, making it very tight into the fourth quarter, put Toledo down 50, or up by only 50-48. A 3 from junior guard Sophia Wired got the Rockets going early in the fourth, but the entire quarter was pretty much back and forth for the two teams, with no team really getting much separation. With under 2 minutes left, Ball State junior Annie Rauch's 3-point play put the Cardinals down by only 1 point, but a game-clinching score from freshman forward Jessica Cook with only 26 seconds left will be enough to help the Rockets escape with a narrow victory against the Cardinals with a final score of 69-66. If you thought the first game of Toledo's doubleheader had you hanging on to your seats, the second game proved to do much of the same. With hopes of getting back into first place in the MAC on the line, the Central Michigan Chippewas proved to be a tough opponent for the Toledo Rockets. The Rockets came out flat to start the game, with Central going on an 11-2 run early in the contest, putting the Rockets down 18-9. But thanks in part to junior forward JT Shoemate, the Rockets went on an 18-2 run of their own, with Shoemate getting 10 points in the run. He would go on to tie a season high of 29 points and allow the Rockets to take a 27-20 lead. This did not discourage CMU though, as they would outscore the Rockets 11-2 to end the half, and this gave the Chips a 31-29 lead into the intermission. Rockets came out the second half different than they had the first half, going on a 7-point run early after the break. However, Central Michigan would begin to come back, and they would eventually regain the lead, and that was thanks in part to a layup from junior forward Ralph Basainth. No team would lead by more than 2 possessions for the rest of the game, helping to create an exciting matchup down the stretch. Just look at all this back and forth between the two teams here. A dunk from Shoemate with under a minute left put the Rockets up 67-61, but a corner 3 from senior guard Kevin Miller and classmate guard Cameron Healy being able to hit a jumper brought their Chippewas within 1. Nevertheless, Shoemate was able to hit one of his 2 free throws with under 5 seconds left, and Central was not able to get a shot off in time at the buzzer, allowing Toledo to squeeze out with a 68-66 victory. This win for the Rockets helped the men get back into first place in the MAC. Both men's and women's Rockets teams now sit atop the MAC as we are about 2 weeks away from the MAC tournament. The men's team will be home this Saturday, play the Miami Redhawks, while women's travel to Ypsilanti take on Eastern Michigan this weekend. The current athletic director for the University of Toledo, Mike O'Brien, will be retiring from his position in the spring after 20 years. To fill his position, UT has hired Brian Blair to be the next director of athletics. Blair is the Deputy Director of Athletics and Chief Operating Officer at Washington State University. There, he is responsible for leading the sports administrators who are responsible for the day-to-day oversight of the 17 varsity sports programs for Washington State. Before going to WSU, Blair was a Senior Associate Athletic Director at Rice University. University President Dr. Gregory Postal issued the following statement. Brian brings a wealth of experience to this role, from strategic planning to budgeting to diversity and inclusion to academic success initiatives. I'm excited to see what he will do, working with our outstanding coaches and athletic staff to lift our Rockets to even greater heights. Blair will be introduced today at 2 p.m. during a press conference that will be streamed live on YouTube. We will have a link to that on our homepage, ut10news.com. He will then assume his new role on May 1st of this year.